Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's February 21st, 2013. To my left is Logan Burgess and I'm Brock Shimbino. Let's turn over to the Fire Tip trading software to see how the grains ended up today. Corn was actually off about 10 cents. Soybeans, the only bright spot, up 5 1/4 cents. Wheat in Chicago off 18, and Kansas City wheat was off 20 3/4. It's kind of interesting to note that the soybean front month contract was actually positive today, right, while the deferred months on soybeans was actually negative throughout the day today.
Yeah, Brock, overall a relatively bearish day in the market today. It seems like wheat, the big loser in today's action. We saw Kansas City wheat down 20 cents. Seems like some precipitation that we were talking a little bit about yesterday is weighing on that market. But the bottom line is, as we kind of mentioned, is that this crop is still in dire straits right now. Certainly any precipitation we're seeing right now is going to need to be followed up in a big way to get that soil down in the southern plains back to where it needs to be. But certainly for the moment here, wheat selling off in today's action, making some new lows there. If we turn our attention though to corn, we did see corn close down 10 cents. And let's hop in here real quick to a March daily candlestick chart here on Fire Tip. And as you can see here, we've been kind of testing or trading around this $7 area here for a while. And this was really the first day that we saw a strong close to the downside after we've been testing this area. And if we hop over here to a 5-minute chart, we actually closed at the lows of the day. We kind of traded lower, made a little bit of a comeback here at mid-session, and into the closing bell, we did close lower. Last trade printed at 690.5 there. If we go back to the daily chart though, as you can see, this kind of, we've been talking about this price level of 680 here for a while. That seems to be the next key area of support for this corn contract. That was the lows that we printed here back towards the middle of December. And certainly if we get down there, that's going to be a key level of support for this contract. If we back out a little bit here, this corn market right now is clearly making lower highs and lower lows as we move away from last summer's rally. And if we can get below 680, it certainly opens the door to this bottom side trend line here for kind of the next major stopping point. Obviously, though, fundamentals are going to be a big factor in this market. Is the demand there? I know, Brock, we got the EIA ethanol numbers out today. Did that really change anything in your mind?
Yeah, one area of the demand sector that is benefiting from lower prices has been the ethanol sector. We have seen production uptick over the last several weeks or so, and again this week we saw another 8,000 barrels per day added to production. We're sitting right below 800,000 barrels per day of production. Stocks fell by about 5,000 barrels. Not a big figure there, but we are sitting at about 19.5 million barrels of ethanol stocks.
Right.
If we take a look at the chart, where are we standing for this year? You can see here the green line is our forecast of 4.4 billion bushels of corn going to ethanol use. The red bars are our daily production figures. You can see here that we did exceed our expectation for this week. And again, we've been uptrending for over the last several weeks or so, but we're still quite a bit below where we were last year at this time.
Yeah, Brock, if we dig into the margins a little bit right now that the ethanol industry is facing, certainly the margins, the crush margins are the big driver of weekly production. And just in the last week here, we saw that crush margin increase quite a bit. It's sitting right now about $1.60 a barrel, and that's higher than $1.60 a bushel, and that's quite a bit higher than we've seen here for quite a while. If we're looking at the first couple days of this week, we are looking for that to back off a little bit. So certainly it looks like maybe the margins that produce this good production figure may be waning a bit, but the bottom line is that we're going to have to wait and see where this margin heads. Certainly some people are looking for it to improve, and it's going to need to improve if we're going to be able to achieve 4.5 billion bushels of corn going to ethanol production here in the current year. So as you said, right now our model, we're leaving it unchanged, but we'll keep you posted on that here on GrainTV as that develops.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see those production totals actually move up and the crush margins move along with that. Right. So that's something we're definitely going to have to pay attention to as we move forward. For tomorrow, as far as fundamentals are concerned, we're going to get the USDA Ag Forum results tomorrow morning. We're also going to get the export sales report. The early indications are for export sales for a combined total for this year and for next year. Wheat coming in at 400 to 600,000 metric tons, corn 150 to 350,000 metric tons, and soybeans 300 to 600,000 metric tons. And of course, we'll be tweeting those figures once they do come out. At GrainTV is where you can find us on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Facebook or give us a call at 877-472-4607.
Have a great day.